The air vibrates with urgency. Red lights flicker across giant video screens. Sirens wail over Tokyo's morning rush. News anchors, voices trembling with excitement, repeat the words. Japan launches world's largest Coast Guard ship. Crowds gather around every public screen staring as images of the colossal white vessel flash again and again. It is not just any news, this is a national moment. Subways pause as passengers crane their necks to catch the latest updates. Office workers hold coffee cups midair, watching footage of the ship cutting through gray water. The city's pulse quickens. For decades, Japan's sea guardians have worked from smaller craft. Today, that changes forever. The world's biggest Coast Guard cutter is now Japanese. Social media explodes with hashtags. Japan megaship, our Coast Guard power, a maritime shift. Politicians and military analysts offer instant opinions. Tokyo's skyline buzzes not just from neon and traffic, but from the sense that history is being made. This is more than a national story, it's a global one, with consequences far beyond Japan's shores. As the first images of the ship fill every screen, everyone knows the world just got a new player at sea. And the balance of power is about to shift. International news channels break into regular programming as Japan unveils a 31,000-ton Coast Guard vessel. The massive ship dominates headlines from Washington to Beijing. Diplomats and military experts scramble to analyze its specs. Questions fly. Is this a message to China? What does it mean for the region? For countries like the Philippines and Vietnam, it signals shifting tides in contested seas. The ship's size is a statement. Japan will not be left behind on the waves. The first live footage is stunning. The Japanese megaship glides out of Yokohama port, its white hull gleaming in the sun. Its scale is impossible to miss, towering over ferries and fishing boats. International observers gasp at the sight. Naval experts call it the most formidable civilian ship ever built. The world's navies now face a new reality. Japan answers with something even bigger. What was once a contest of words is now a contest of steel and scale. For years, the seas between Japan and China have simmered with tension. At the center are the disputed Senkaku Islands, called Diaoyu in China. Both nations claim them, and both have sent ships to patrol the waters. Encounters between Japanese patrol boats and China's massive Coast Guard cutters have become routine, sometimes escalating into dangerous standoffs. Japan's Coast Guard crews have often faced larger, more heavily armed Chinese vessels. In 2010, a Chinese trawler collided with a Japanese patrol boat, sparking a diplomatic crisis. Since then, Chinese cutters have grown even bigger, some converted from Navy hulls. Each side accuses the other of provocation. Every encounter is shadowed by the risk of miscalculation. These standoffs are not just about territory. They are about national pride, control of natural resources, and strategic sea lanes. Japan's smaller patrol ships have been brave, but outmatched in size and presence. The balance has long been tilted in China's favor. Today, with the launch of the new megaship, Japan is sending a clear message. The days of being overshadowed are over. The standoff is entering a new phase. At sea, size matters. A bigger ship can stay longer on patrol, ride out rougher weather, and carry more supplies. It can launch helicopters and boats for boarding or rescue. It can project power simply by being present, making rivals think twice before encroaching. For years, China built ever larger cutters for its Coast Guard, some over 12,000 tons to dwarf the smaller Japanese ships. Japan's vessel, at 31,000 tons, changes the equation. It's not just the displacement that counts. Bigger ships can deter aggression by their sheer visibility. They can enforce law and order, rescue those in need, and if necessary, stand firm in a standoff. In contested areas like the East China Sea, this presence is critical. Naval experts explain, a ship like this can host command centers, medical bays, and launch coordinated operations. It also sends a psychological signal. Rivals know they are up against not just a patrol boat, but a floating base. The cost to challenge it goes up. For Japan, catching up in the size race is not about intimidation. It's about protecting its people and interests with credibility. This ship is not just big, it is cutting edge. At over 200 meters in length, it carries 2 helicopter pads, allowing simultaneous search or medevac operations. Its onboard hangars house fast rescue boats, ready to launch at a moment's notice. The vessel's bridge is a high-tech nerve center, filled with radar screens and satellite links for real-time coordination. Engineers designed the megaship for endurance. It can stay at sea for weeks, even months, thanks to massive fuel and supply stores. Onboard medical facilities rival those of small hospitals. Modular spaces convert from command rooms to disaster relief centers. Crews can board suspicious vessels using high-speed launches or coordinate large-scale rescues after typhoons. Compared to previous Japanese ships, every feature is supersized. The hull is reinforced for stability and safety. Advanced sensors scan for illegal fishing, smuggling, or distress signals. The vessel's presence alone deters crime and reassures allies. This is more than a patrol ship. It's a floating symbol of safety and capability. Japan's government is quick to clarify. This ship is not a warship. Its mission is law enforcement, upholding international maritime law, stopping illegal fishing, and ensuring safe sea lanes. The vessel's officers are trained in boarding and inspection, but also in diplomacy and de-escalation. They carry non-lethal weapons, ready for tense encounters but focused on keeping peace. Disaster strikes often in this region. Earthquakes, typhoons, shipwrecks. The megaship is designed to respond fast, bringing supplies, medical help, and rescue teams wherever needed. Its helicopters can airlift survivors from sinking ships. Onboard hospitals treat the injured. Modular spaces turn into shelters for evacuees. This dual role, guardian and rescuer, sets the ship apart. It shows Japan's commitment not just to its own people, but to the safety of all who sail these waters. In moments of crisis, the ship will be a lifeline. Neighbors and international partners see this clearly. Japan wants a sea that is safe, open, and free for all. The ship's launch did not happen overnight. Behind the scenes, political leaders, engineers, and shipbuilders worked around the clock. Parliament fast-tracked laws and budgets. Defense and Coast Guard officials coordinated with allies. Industrial giants raced to finish the hull, install engines, and integrate high-tech systems. Japan's leaders made a strategic choice. They saw rising threats and knew they had to act. The ship's rapid construction is a testament to national resolve. Government sources hint at plans for more vessels of this class. This is just the beginning, one official says. Japan's Coast Guard will not be outpaced again. The engineering challenges were immense. Designers had to balance strength, speed, and safety. Every detail, from propulsion to medical facilities, reflects lessons learned from past crises. The result is a vessel that sets a new global standard. With this ship, Japan sends a message: we are prepared for tomorrow's challenges, and we are building for the future. The region's response is swift. In Manila, officials welcome the news. Japan's leadership brings stability, says a senior Philippine officer. Vietnam's Coast Guard expresses interest in joint drills. Across Southeast Asia, smaller nations hope the ship's presence will deter bullying and promote fair play at sea. The United States immediately voices strong support. Japan's investment strengthens the rules-based order, and Admiral states. Australia and the UK echo these sentiments. They see the megaship as a counterweight to growing Chinese influence. China, however, is less pleased. State media warn that the move risks an arms race. Officials urge Japan to act with restraint. Online, Chinese nationalists call for bigger ships in response. Yet some Chinese analysts admit Japan has changed the game. Diplomatic channels heat up as Beijing assesses its next move. For all sides, the launch is a wake-up call. The maritime chessboard has been reset. The launch of Japan's 31,000-ton megaship marks more than a technical achievement. It is a powerful message to allies and rivals alike. Japan will protect its people, its islands, and the crucial sea lanes that connect the world. The ship stands as a guardian, not just for Japan, but for the principle of open and peaceful seas. This is not the start of an arms race, but a new era of presence and resolve. Japan's leaders have chosen to act boldly, balancing strength with responsibility. The ship's capabilities, law enforcement, humanitarian aid, and deterrence, set a standard for others to follow. As the vessel takes its place on the world stage, it reminds us that maritime security is not just about might. It is about the will to stand up for peace, order, and the safety of all. For Japan and for the region, this is a turning point. A new era has begun, one defined by resolve, innovation, and a clear message. The seas are open, and Japan will help keep them safe.